Morning, friends. This is the first video on India's relations with her neighbors, and in this video we will do India's neighbor China and India's relation with China. We call it Indo-Sino relationship, Indo-China relationship also. But before that, I must mention here that India has Bangladesh, China, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka as its important neighbor countries. And it has been India's foreign policy to make and maintain and to establish friendly relationship with all the countries of the world, but primarily with its neighboring countries. So India wants good relationship with its neighbors. It is rightly said by somebody that if your neighbor is in good deal with you, you get a peaceful and happy life. Otherwise, your daily life even remains strained. And it applies to neighboring countries also, right? Let's first tell me about China. China, which is People's Republic, is the third largest country of the world and the most populated country of the world. If we talk about from economic point of view, People's Republic of China is one of the largest economy following communist ideology. That is why it is called Communist China or Red China also. But in recent years, it has liberalized itself. It has made its market a bit socialist. So we can call it socialist market economy. In economic point of view or from economic point of view, it has liberalized itself, but politically it is communist, and so we can say that economically it is growing and liberalized, but ideologically it is very rigid. One more aspect is that it has permanent membership of United Nations Security Council, and thus it possesses veto power. And as it is one of the biggest military power, it is one of the biggest economic power. So all countries of the world want to improve its relationship with China. Indo or Sino-Indo relationship, if we talk about, have gone through different phases, different eras, right? And we will discuss it further. But what was the reason of this strained and different phases of Sino-Indian relationship? Let us discuss. This is the flag of China and India. The major problem that is there in the relationship between India and China is border. We have, a long border with China. Total length is 4,057 kilometers. In western sector, India has a border of 2,176 kilometer with China, and in this sector only China occupies our 38,000 square kilometer of the area. Then we have middle sector. In this sector we have a border of 554 kilometer, and in eastern sector now we have a border of 1327 kilometer. And so we have a big border, long border with China, and this is one of the biggest issue where counter claimings are being done, right? Here we can see on the top Jammu Kashmir area where we have problem with China. This is especially this sector, right? We have here problem, and China controls this area, and again this area China thinks, or China claims to be the part of Eastern Tibet. So it has been the major bone of contention, right? We can see here in this map, this color represents, this is gray, this shade, disputed border and disputed territories mentioned with the color. You can check it out. So there is claim and counterclaim by India as well as China. This is a bit about me, right? And this is the northern map, India's northern map. Now you can see that the area this is the area where China has its control, and this is also the area of problem with China, right? Rest this area we will do in relation with Pakistan, right? Here we have actual line of control. So if we read this map, we find that this is traditional boundary. This color represents here. This is traditional boundary claimed by the former princely state of Jammu and Kashmir. It means this area, this is the traditional boundary, right? This is the traditional boundary. But actually, if you talk about line of control with, this is line of control further with China, like this. See this area, and this is known as Aksai Chin. See, all area here, it is in the control of China. Okay, so this is the major factor here in this sector, this area, right? Here and here it is line of actual control with China. The same way we have line of control with Pakistan. So this is major bone of contention. Now in this map we see that this color represents this one. This is the land that is in the control of India. This one is in control of Pakistan, and this color represents where the area is in control of China. So here we have the problem with China as well as with Pakistan. So we need to know this land problem and border problem. Here in this map we see that major territories disputed between India and China, that is Aksai Chin, is administered by China but claimed by India. Okay, this area here as we had done, and this is China labels it Arunachal Pradesh as South Tibet, not Eastern Tibet. I said right. So Eastern Tibet is South Tibet area. So this has been the bone of contention, and so far we have not been able to solve this problem. Right, we move to the next video. Here it is a bit clear. Now we see that this is Aksai Chin area, right, and we have this dispute over this territory with China, but at the same time this area Pakistan ceded to China for gaining benefits from China, and that has a big problem also, because here we had problem in this area, but now this is also is a problem of strained relationship, a cause of strained relationship. Now this area, if you talk about, this is in the control of Kashmir, and this is line of control, this is Pak occupied Kashmir, right, and this all area. So overall, if you see that we have this portion of Jammu and Kashmir in our control only. So this has been a major strained area in Sino-Indian relationship. So let us discuss it in detail, and how there is political tensions, though economic relations between China and India is going well. At least at economic front, we wanted to deal with each other cooperatively. So the military tension at border is mirrored by growing political tension. Yeah, political tensions naturally would grow if there is military tension or border tension, which has strained ties between Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping. There is also the potential for economic fallout, though we have still in good economic relationship. As China is one of the India's biggest trading partner, we want to maintain good relationship. At the same time, we do not want to lose our territory also. So we have recently seen certain border tensions also. It was in the news, right? So let's move. If you talk about the phases of relationship between India and China, or era of relationship between India and China, it is of 3 phases, and I would like to mention one more phase, that is now the new phase. The first phase is friendship phase. It was in the beginning, and then phase of mistrust and confrontation, that was after that. It was during the war, and after that, and Indo-Sino-Indian war, and then confidence building phase. Now here the new phase is where there is border issues, new phase. But in this phase, economic relationship we continue to talk about and raise issues with each other. We will discuss all these in details and further ahead, right? So I think the video is going to be a bit long, and hope you'll cooperate with this, right? The friendship phase. First phase is that friendship phase and recognition to Communist China. The Communist China came into existence on October 1, 1949, and announced itself to be the People's Republic of China, India was one of the first countries to recognize China. This action of India was a first step in the direction of establishing good relation with China. And then the Tibet occupied by China. In October 1950, Tibet was occupied by China, and India didn't speak anything on it, taking into its relationship with China. It accepted China's suzerainty over Tibet. That was many considered was not wise decision. This act of India was severely criticized by many countries, many people of the world. And even today, India regards China's claim over Tibet to be just. So it was the first phase. It was seen that India was in good condition or taking into China, taking China as just one. Then the Korean War, India supported China during Korean War. It was this war was in 1950, and denounced American invasion of Korea. India strongly opposed the resolution moved by America and the political committees of United Nations General Assembly for denouncing China's joining of war and branding China as an aggressor. And this Indian action had very good impact on China and relationship, where on the other hand India had to face America's annoyance, but it made good relations with China. Then 1954 Panchsheel Agreement. It was 1954 Panchsheel Agreement. On 29 April 1950, Indian Prime Minister Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru and Chinese Prime Minister Premier Chu En-li reached an agreement over Tibet, and this agreement was based on a 5-point principles, which is known as Panchsheel principles. These 5 points were respect for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty, non-aggression, non-interference in the internal matters, equality and mutual cooperation, and peaceful coexistence. So this agreement was very significant and developed a friendly relationship between India and China. Hindi, Chini, Bye Bye slogans were raised after the conclusion of this agreement, and it was hoped that mutual relationship between these two countries, India and China, would be very great, would prove to be lasting and mutually beneficial to each other. So this was the first phase of China Indo-Sino relationship or Sino-Indo relationship, and it is known as era of friendship or friendship phase. Video is getting long, so I will finish it with this much. I will make second video for China-Indo relationship, right? Thank you. Good luck. Take care. Bye bye.